Hey guys, Joseph here. It's been a little while since I've made a video, and so I wanted to update you all on some of the developments that I've had and some of the things I've been working on, particularly if you're a music teacher or an online music teacher, as most of what I've been working on pertains to online teaching and remote learning and things like that. Since this crazy pandemic thing hit, I've noticed that the topics of Skype lessons and Zoom lessons and things like that have been widely discussed and searched for, and now very much in like mainstream public awareness. And I have a fair number of new subscribers, and my tiny YouTube channel is all of a sudden a little less tiny. But I'm pretty sure that my new subscribers are mostly music teachers. So for this reason, and also because it interests me, I'm going to be sort of specializing on online lessons and teaching, at least for just a little while. I've been exploring some new hardware setups, and I've updated my studio, as you can probably tell if you've watched any of my old videos. And I wanted to share a couple of my thoughts, just like candidly and generally speaking, in this video. So the first thing you'll probably notice is that I am sitting behind a desk and in an office chair, as opposed to on a piano bench at a laptop stand. And some teachers have asked why I think this is better. And I will make a video basically talking about like desk setups versus laptop stands or whatever later on. For now, I feel like it's worth mentioning this is a more comfortable setup, and I can teach longer without getting fatigued. And I also feel like I can teach better because I have more resources at my disposal. I can have a full keyboard and mouse and everything. I can just navigate what I need to during a lesson so much more easily than if I'm on a laptop, just like kind of huddled over on a piano bench. So that is a little bit of a development. And even for these types of videos, you might see me in my office chair. So I'm hoping you don't mind this casualness. The next development that I've had, which you probably also can tell, is that I'm using a new camera, which is the Sony a6100. And I bought this camera to make these videos and to make recordings of like piano videos and things like that. But also I'm interested in using this camera as a webcam for online lessons. And I've definitely explored that in detail, and I want to share a couple of those thoughts here as well. Okay, first thing, one of the reasons I wanted to switch to this camera is because I was previously making YouTube videos with my iPhone, and I was doing Skype lessons and whatnot with this Logitech Brio. And if you've looked at my website or if you looked at some of my other content, you'll notice that I do recommend the Logitech Brio. And I still recommend it. I think it's just about the best like consumer grade webcam on the market. I know the Logitech has put out a new webcam called the Logitech Stream Cam, which I believe has better color and is probably nicer than this camera a number of ways, but it's also a little bit more expensive. And it has a narrower field of view. So if you are confined and you don't have a lot of space in your studio, the Brio is probably your only choice. That being said, webcams in general, including the Brio, have been really frustrating me as far as like online teaching goes. And this mostly has to do with the locked exposure in the camera. If you manually adjust the exposure, it causes all sorts of frame rate issues, and it's really best to just leave the camera on auto exposure. But if you leave it on auto exposure, it'll often blow out your image depending on your lighting and your surroundings. So for this particular environment with these colors and where I'm sitting, and also depending on what I'm wearing, the image would be overexposed or underexposed. And it was just really hard to get some consistency out of it. And I also was having some focus issues. So I decided to upgrade into a nicer camera and investigate using a actual like real camera, a mirrorless camera as a webcam, and I have been successfully able to do this. So I'm super excited about that. One of the services I offer in addition to like online lessons is consulting with other teachers and showing them how to get started with their teaching setups and helping them plan and things like that. And I remember, actually since I've started this service, I think earlier this year, I've done dozens and dozens of these, and definitely a lot of them since the pandemic thing hit. One of the teachers that I worked with was using an older camcorder, and they were using a camera capture card instead of a webcam. And I was blown away by this this setup, it was so much more like beautiful and impressive, even though the camera was many years old. As it turns out, even though like webcams can be kind of expensive, their hardware just does not compete with real cameras. And this includes camcorders, DSLRs, and mirrorless cameras. So if you have access to a real camera, you should be looking at getting something like a Camlink or one of these off-brand capture cards instead of looking at a webcam. Because even though the webcam is easier, using a real camera is definitely superior to a webcam. Now, if you're looking for something really quick or really easy, webcams are fine, or even the camera on your laptop or iPad is fine. But if you're looking for like the best investment in yourself and in your studio and whatnot, I think that getting a real camera it should be on your short list. Okay, so speaking of the Sony a6100, that's what you're looking at right now. This is actually the exact setup that I am currently using in online lessons. This is very much experimental. I'm still like working with some software and some glitches and things to like make it everything I want it to be. But I'm definitely blown away with the results, and my students all seem very happy. I thought that I was going to lose my overhead webcam in this transition to using a real camera because I know that there is a little bit of latency from the signal coming from a camera compared to a webcam. And that might throw my audio and video out of sync. And I know that the webcam I have over my keyboard will send the video signal just about as fast as the audio signal goes. So I thought that if I switched to this camera, I would not be able to run with that other camera anymore. But I figured out a way to make it work, and I wanted to demonstrate that right here. I can just switch to it really easily, and now I have a picture-in-picture setup, and this is something that I can also offer my students. So this camera setup is still using the same C920 that's like many years old. It's the same one in my videos, although you'll notice that it looks a lot better. And the reason that I think it looks a lot better is because I am able to have a much dimmer setup in here because of the main camera. It's just got much better low light performance. And I'm using a dark rug underneath the piano, and just in general, the lighting is better and more friendly to this camera. So now it works really consistently. It focuses really consistently. It just works way better than when things were way brighter in here. And of course, I can switch to it and easily navigate my different scenes. I can have all sorts of different scenes as well. I can plug in my iPad or go to my desktop. As many as I can create. So I'll talk about how I'm doing this later, but this is really cool. It's a whole new world, and I'm really excited to explore it. One of the reasons I prefer using a camera like this compared to a standard webcam is that I can keep my lights much lower throughout the day and still get a good picture. You might still notice a little bit of grain in this picture, and that's probably because I'm using an off-brand capture card, as I was not able to find a Camlink in stock anywhere, and I haven't been for weeks, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to pick one up. So I just found one for $50 on Amazon, and I'm using it now. And I can link to it in the description below if you all are interested, as it's going to let you use your real cameras much sooner than if you waited for a Camlink. That being said, I still plan to swap it out for a Camlink the second that I can. Other than audio and video syncing issues, I'm surprised at how simple this setup is to operate, and I honestly am blown away. I couldn't be more impressed with it. So I'll definitely be doing videos on how to put together a setup like this, and some of the options involving like different cameras and camera capture cards and things in the future. That's it for now. I'll definitely be posting more videos soon, and I'll also be making some more recordings of pieces, as that's just something that I enjoy doing and sharing. So if you're interested in anything specific from this video, please leave a comment, and otherwise I'll see you in the next video. Bye.